In the early days of television, shows did not reflect the diversity of our society. People of color playing marginalized roles like servants or providing comic relief. But here in Detroit, it was no different. For years, it was hard for African Americans to get a paid job at a TV station. Then came WGPR in 1975, the first black-owned station in the country.
And soon after came The Scene, which was much-watched TV in our city. As Victor Williams shows us, the show delivered a sense of pride and self-esteem, showing off Detroit's spirit and culture.
Nat Morris, The Scene, and even the Funkateers are three very influential names when it comes down to the African American community here in Detroit. However, it's more than just about dancing that has really created a legacy.
Show me a river that's so
The Scene on WGPR became a landmark Detroit program back in the 70s and 80s. Part of it was thanks to original co-host Nat Morris.
I was on that first episode. I think we started October 13th, 1975.
Morris would go on to become solo host and executive producer of the show, giving African Americans the spotlight they wouldn't have gotten otherwise at the time. Genuine content for the very first black-owned TV station in the U.S.
It was a point in history when African Americans had to fight basically to get on air. This wasn't put us on so you could laugh at us. This was like put us on so you could enjoy us and feel our spirit, feel our rhythm, get a chance to look at our culture.
Part of the show was used to shine the light on homegrown local talent like Inkster's own tandem dance group, the Funkateers, in the 80s.
It's been years and years, but we still got a little in the tank.
Fast forward 4 decades later, and the 5 remaining members of the Funkateers are still hijacking the attention of everyone on the dance floor.
We've been together 42 years, so it's a while to be together. And we got a lot of love for each other.
Please give it up for the Funkateers.
It all started in 1980 when 5 members got together to win an Inkster talent show.
It was so funny. We got together to sing.
But fate had a different route in mind. The group would decide to dance. Little did they know, their dance moves would captivate an entire generation.
We just took off. We won the talent show. And that night we were asked to come and do a cabaret down at WDIV Hall on Jefferson. We did that. And it was just so amazing that we made $500 at 19 years of age, each have $100. It was incredible. Then he said he wanted to manage us, so that started the ascent right there.
Just weeks ago, the Funkateers and other scene dancers like Diana Rogers were at WGPR, where they spent a lot of time in the studio working on the show.
So many memories, man. I mean, again, this is where it all started when we started doing our first routine.
And a lot of people here on The Scene basically remember us, and we remember them, and then it's just like a whole reunion again.
None other than Miss Mary Wilson, Tommy Hearn. None other than the Dramatics.
Even some of the more famous names were on the show at the time. Something special and unique to the city of Detroit, because that was one of the only places where you could see minorities shine at the time.
All the big acts, when they would come in town, singers, some of everybody, Stevie Wonder. I mean, this is just historical.
James
and I'm so
Brown.
glad that we were able to become a part of that history.
Yet it wasn't just limited to minorities.
African Americans were so proud that now we have a station. Now here they come trying to take our station from us. And it's like, oh, no. I don't want that. I want this to be a multicultural show.
The dancing, however, for the Funkateers just hasn't been the same without Damon Ellerson, who passed away from COVID complications just this past January.
He was a big part of this, a big part of it.
He was that member that was over the top all the time. You know, he just had so much energy in him and got us all pumped up too.
But he will forever live on in the legacy and culture started by the Funkateers.
This has become a brotherhood. You know, we've always said tears for life.
Cheers for life.
And the scene has since proven to be timeless.
The end of an era has come. Hey, guys, give it up to yourselves. You've been great. We say thank you, Detroit. We love you.
It feels remarkable, especially now that the show has been over and done with for 34 years.
And one thing is certain, the Funkateers, Nat Morris, and the scene will always have its place in Detroit history. Victor Williams, Local 4.